So this is Baruch here, and we're heading over to the window here at the apartment in Nof Tzion just to show you one more little thing. Now, over here you see all of this terrace work that they're doing. You have no idea how they're building or what they're going to build. I don't know. It's interesting to watch. But you could see in the foreground, there's a menorah there with some light bulbs on top of it. And behind of it is like a trailer. And then there's also like a little tent in front of the trailer. It hangs on, I guess, maybe a wall somewhere. That's the basic Knesset here. The interesting thing about this in settler communities here, I've been in Hebron also, davened in other places, where the Sfardim and the Ashkenazim daven together. First of all, the Ashkenazim use Nusach Sfard. So therefore it's very close to Sfardi. It's almost the same thing except for a few places. So they intermingle. So whoever says Kaddish, there's no problem, because the main thing that's going on here is the establishment of Jewish roots in Eretz Yisrael. And all these people are dedicated to that, and the city is helping. They're building these beautiful, like the synagogue here, and over there is a playroom for kids, or what they call a kindergarten or something like that. And they're building this synagogue. This is going to be the synagogue down below us, one side for the Sfardim and one side for the Ashkenaz. And I think just yesterday or right now they're working on the bore of the mikveh. That's what I believe. But we'll see how it comes out, and God willing, we'll be strengthened and be able to keep going on in this absolutely unbelievably beautiful view. So let's come over here and look at one more little thing, and this will be the last year on this subject here right now. Next week, Mitzvah Hashem, I'll be back in the States. So here's what the Rav wants to teach us. We're going to start right here in this spot. We'll just read across the top. Get the idea of what he wants to say. Now, we had been talking before about the concept of beregesh. Beregesh corresponding to the Ana B'Koach. And how we're going through all of these different names and they're looking for the ultimate amount of chesed, because we understand that in the basic Knesset is also a base Elokim, it's a place of judgment. Now he says here's another thing that you should think about, that before you enter into the shul, you should be thinking about this year that you had, that you understand what's going on in there, actually it's a time of free prayer. So he says, Od Yirtza, so the Rav wants to say something, a new idea. Ki guvarchu daticho, he says, I've already taught you. Shekodesh niknas yomer va'ani berov chazdecho, that you need to say this. You have to understand that you are seeking chesed as you are going in. V'yakave in the shame, this name, the Ana B'Koach name. A little bit misbar, beregesh, which comes to the concept of beregesh, and this is why the pasuk said that when you come into the shul, you should come in beregesh. Va'inyan hu ke'ashchina. So what are we really getting more? Let's go a little more deeply into what he says. He says ke'ashchina chinikwa basic Knesset, because the shchina herself is called by the name basic Knesset. V'nikwa base Elokim, and it's also called the basic Elokim. Now, what's a Knesset? Knesset is a gathering together, and that's what the shchina represents. It is all the flow from up above her, panimi to her. Man winds up in the yesod of the nukva. And so therefore, this is all the base Elokim. All of these different things are coming together, and we are seeking rachamim in this shul. And that's what we're looking for. So he said, nahalik beregesh, that a person should walk beregesh. So Kodesh Yakonis under the basic Knesset, because the person comes into the basic Knesset, which is another word for the Shechina. He says tzarich. Let me turn this page. Tzarich limloch, to choose. It means to have in mind ba'Abraham, our fathers Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Lomber pasuk, and when you say this page v'ani barov chazdecho that we've been talking about, Knizker b'sefer hazoyer, and there's a whole zohar on this, and hopefully we'll see a shtickle in the next year from the Tivuk Avanos. Ki b'pasuk zeh remozim shlosha avos, because in this pasuk there's a remiss to the three fathers. How? The Abag Yatatz that we had mentioned before, which is the Ana B'Koach. Hanikra barov chazdecho, because this is really there is a translation through this that brings this tremendous abundance of chesed. Gam yakavan la'os v'netzach hod yisod zeh. And then you should also have kavanas that you're bringing this down through the netzach hod yisod zeh anpin. What are you bringing? Shlosha mochim chochma bina das. That is the right side. What does it mean when it says v'netzach hod yisod? Netzach is on the right line, the bottom of the right line. Hod is in the bottom of the left line. Yisod is in the bottom of the middle line. This is called coming from the zeh anpin of Atzilus. Shlosha mochim chochma bina v'das, and in them are contained these mochim. Where are they going? They're going to the nukva, the zeh anpin kenenoida, which is another word for the Shechina, which is another word for the basic Knesset. And you could see this in the beginning letters of this word. Bebeis Elokim Nahalek Beregish. If you add this up, it comes to the gematria of Ben. Let's see how it goes. Is a base, and Aleph is 3, Nun is 53, 55. Wait a minute, I got this wrong. Ba, 3, 53. Should be 52, but Regesh Ben. So I didn't understand it. So let's look down here in this one, number Memhe. Shekishiyakavan la'aso shlosha mochim chabad the nook. What you're trying to do is make the mochim for the nook, that is the chabad of the nook. Asher heim ramozi baroshe tevas bebeis alokim, which are ki base aleph ain't begematria gimel. So let's put those three together, come 3. Keneged shlosha mochim, and those 3 refer to the 3 mochim chabad. So he said, base elokim, he said this is the number 3. It refers to the chabad. So he says, shlosha mochim shehem chabad. Let's read a little bit more. Shnei tovas nahalik beregesh. So this is merlaga beregesh. These 2 words make the number 52. 52 is also the Rosh Tables of Ben, Shehu Hanuk, which is also the Nook. So the idea is what we're talking about here. You should have in mind, let's say, to bring Shefa to the Nook. V'zechu hakavana shall apostle bebeis elokim nahale beregesh. And this is the kavana over here. When you say in the base elokim, you should go beregesh. The hainu shahanuk, that is the Nook, the female aspect, which is the recipient, the Shrina. Shehu Shem Ben, which is the name Ben of Gematria 52. Mikabel Shlosha Mochim Ramumozi Berosha Tevas Beis Elokim. She receives, that is the Nook. She's the last part of the pasuk, and I'll go over it one more time. Mikabel Shlosha Mochim Ramumozi Berosha Tevas Beis Elokim. And let's look at it one more time. So he says that after we said that the first 2 letters of this pasuk, Rosh Tevas Bebeis Elokim, referred to the number 3, because one is the base is 2, and then the Aleph is of Elokim is 3. This refers to the 3 Mochin. The 3 Mochin in motion. Shnei Tevos, and then you go to the next 2 words. Nahalik Beregesh, that a person in the base of Elokim has to go Beregesh. Beregesh is seeking mercy. Heim Rosh Tevas Ben, which means in that place, which is the place of the Shechina, which is the Nook, B'zechov Kavana shall the pasuk bebeis elokim nahalik beregesh. This is the Kavana there. The Hadu Shahanuk shehi Shem Ben Mekabela Shlosha Mochim Ramazi v'Rosh Teva bebeis elokim. She gets those 3, and that's the idea, is to bring this sweetness of the Chabad into the base of Elokim. This is what we seek, and this is what we should have in mind. We'll stop right here. That's that shir.